with me now, National Women's Team head coach James Thomas, recently appointed by the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, ready for what is a mission that we're all looking forward to, women's football. We all know what they brought to the nation a few years ago in terms of getting close to qualification for the World Cup. And now another qualifying campaign looms within another year or so. We can see the start of this campaign. And James has been in the UK still. He has not arrived in Trinidad and Tobago, but obviously the job has commenced for you, James, and you have an update for us. Tell us what you've been up to and some of the things that have transpired over the last couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, well, since we've last spoke, there's been a lot of work done. Obviously, I'm the other side of the Atlantic still at the moment, but I've done a lot of work in terms of further looking into players, looking into their strengths, the areas of development that we're looking at. I've started to speak to some of the senior national team players as well, so started having some brief conversations with those, and I hope to spread that amongst the extended player list, over the coming weeks. I've also started to speak to the locally based staff that will be coming on board with us as well. So there's been lots happening. Obviously the travel has been difficult because of circumstances, but we're hoping to get an update on that over the next couple of days with regards to me trying to get there as soon as we physically can. But yeah, there's been a lot of work going on in behind the scenes, so I've been really pleased with the progress, to be honest.
That's excellent to hear. Can you tell us a little more specifics in terms of how the conversations have gone with these players? What have you sensed from them, those that you've spoken to, so we can have an idea, the stakeholders can have an idea of what is happening?
Yeah, of course. I spoke to a few players on Tuesday, I believe it was Tuesday morning Trinidad time, and the real important message that came across to me was just how passionate these players are about playing for their country and how desperate they are to get back on the field, and that was something that I was really pleased to hear. I kind of guessed that would be the case, but to actually hear the players relaying that and the desire that they have to represent the country and to do the country proud was something which was music to my ears. And it makes it really good for me to know that I've got that passion within that squad who really want to press forward with qualifying as soon as that campaign starts.
In terms of your program itself, which has, your job has started, it has begun with you communicating with players and trying to put things in place. What's some of the things that you foresee you would like to initiate once you arrive in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of what are going to be some of your focus points?
First thing is for the domestic players is to get them training again. We need to, again, within whatever restrictions that are in place at the time, is trying to get that local program up and running and really create a pathway for those players that are domestically based. It might be difficult because of numbers that we might have available to us because of restrictions, but really the first things I want to start to do is I want to start to impact the players in terms of our principles of play, how I want the team to play, how I think it's going to give us the best chances of winning football matches, which is what we've been employed for in the first place. So we may not talk about formation straight away, we may not talk about particular shapes, but we will talk about the principles in and out of possession. So they are the things that initially I really need to start to get those messages across to the players. Then when we start to build the numbers within training that are available, when we start having camps and we start having practice matches, we're then able to start talking about the formation. But by that point, the players will be fully aware of what the principles of play are, what we expect of our team in possession, out of possession, and then those moments of transition within the game. The extension of that would be for the players who are not domestically based. So those that are, in the US or further afield, is, as I've done this week, is start to connect with them like we are right now and just sort of explaining to them, these are the principles, these are the things we're looking for me to start to compile almost a playbook of clips and of examples of what we need to be doing and how we need to be doing those things. So yeah, that's my initial target, is to get the players back on the field, the ones that are domestically based, start getting them to understand the real key parts, which I think will help them when it comes to playing international football matches. That's my initial priority.
All right, sounds really good, and I'm sure they're all anticipating that opportunity to be part of this program again. Are there any players that you've been able to get a hold of, or you've discovered that might be able to represent Trinidad and Tobago? Anybody that you're working on at this time?
Yeah, obviously I won't disclose any names right now because I think there's a couple of players who are potentially able to look at various different countries. So, but yeah, there are some players that we've looked at that have maybe not yet represented Trinidad and Tobago. So that's obviously an area that I'm doing my homework on. We're trying to pursue those avenues to strengthen our squad. We'll never be able to set. I don't think any team can be able to settle for the players that you have. You always have to look to try and improve that squad wherever possible. So yeah, that is some work that's been going on behind the scenes as well.
Thanks for the update and stay safe, and we hopefully see you soon.